Okay, so we're going to get started with the very first project on your cutting guide. You'll see it's the Sharpie Gal, and you'll find in this little packet here, you're going to find all the goodies to make the cutest little gift that you can give a friend. So what we're going to do is we're going to pull out our 2 tag pieces first, and we're going to glue those together. A hole's already been punched for you in the middle. Let me pull in a little bit so that you can see. And I'm going to glue those together. These are quick, easy projects. Some of them are a little longer than others, but hopefully you'll find that they are not too lengthy for you. Good, quick ones to take on the go. Okay. So there's my tag. I've got it lined up pretty good. Okay. And now the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take my little saying that says "You're one sharp lady" and attach it down. There we go. Alrighty. Got my camera in a new position. I can't get used to it up there. And then I've got this for you. This is a punch that I found on Etsy for earring cards. And it works great for all of these items that I've been using to put pins in or pencils. I just slide them in and it holds them. So I just wanted to share that with you. Look on Etsy for that. I'm using the score lines on this because this is going to make the little pocket that we use to hold our Sharpie in place. So you're going to score it and bend it like this. Let me see if I can get it in frame. There you go. And I'm going to glue it down where this flap here goes over top and lines up with the bottom of my tag. So let me go ahead and apply some glue right there. This makes a great little party favor, a shower gift, just something to give to friends when they come over for cropping. And then I'm going to take this one, and this is the only tricky part. You're going to bow this a little bit so that you have room for your marker. So I'm going to add my glue. And then when I get ready to attach this, what I'm going to do is I'm going to hold it down just a little bit so I have a nice bowed effect. And then I'm going to line it up on the ladybug print too. This is such a cheerful print. I like that. I'm going to make sure I've got it to where it'll hold. And then I'm going to press it down, hold it firmly. You can use double stick tape if you want. Then you're going to attach this onto the front. You can pop it up or just glue it. I'm going to glue mine on. I'm going to stick my finger inside of it to hold it. And then I'm going to stick my Sharpie in there. And the last thing I'm going to do, I turned it. I can get it lined up again. In your bag, you've got a little ladybug. These are adorable, and they have an adhesive pop on the back. Okay, so I'm going to take my little ladybug here. Dum-de-de-dum. And I'm going to put it right here. Just like so. And then I'm going to take the ribbon. I'm going to double it. Then I'm going to double it again. Okay. And then I'm going to double it one last time. And what that's going to do is give me a little bit that I can poke through onto my, from the front to the back, through my hole. Trust me here, this works. Then I pull all those ends back through the loop. So there's the loop that I poked through the hole, and I'm going to poke all that through that loop. Hopefully I got it all through there. Let's see if I did it okay. I think I did. Yeah, looks good. tie it nice and tight. And then once you get that done, look here, you can take your scissors, clip the ends, and you got a cute little tassel. And there you go. You've got the first project done in less than 5 minutes, guys. Hope you enjoyed it. Now we're going on to number 2. All right, now for project number 2, cute little clips that you can use for bookmarks. You make them out of a paper clip, jumbo size. So we're going to take these and make this little cute little thing. So we're going to take out number 2's components. Okay, here's our card. We can get that fixed first and out of the way. Then we'll do our little, well, yeah, let's go ahead and do our clips first because we got to let the glue dry. Okie doke. So we'll move all that away and get out this part. Move our little ladybug there. You may have an extra 1 or 2 in there. All right, now you're going to take your leaves. You're going to start with that. On the end of the paper clip that does not have a double, see that's 1, 2 clip there. This is the one you want. You're going to take your leaf and you're going to take the wire and you're going to wrap it around and around and around. So you're going to thread it through your paper clip and keep winding it until it's really tight. Now you don't want to poke your finger with the little wire, so tuck it so it looks nice and smooth. Bend it any way you want to. The leaf does bend too because it's on a wire. And then you're going to have it pretty much like that. Once you get it in that shape, you're going to take your glue, add a dot. Whoa, that came out pretty strong, didn't it? My daisy's not going to move. And I'm going to glue my little daisy down to the top of that. So I'm going to hold it for just a moment to let that glue kind of soak in. There we go. And the leaves are different sizes. You have big ones, you have little ones. Hopefully, they'll all look great to you. There we are. Now we're going to set that one to the side. See, it's holding nicely. And if you want to add a little bit of glue to that wire, let me tell you, that will hold it in place. So now that I've got that together, I'm going to take it and lay it down flat. And I'm going to move it off camera a little bit so that it can dry. I'll go ahead and do another one here. The other thing you can do is take it, double it back up like this, take your stapler, just showing you another way of doing it, staple through it, holding both wires close to the paper clip. Then you can glue it in place because the daisy's going to cover the staple. So if you don't like winding wire, this is the other option. So I'm going to take it, I'm going to turn it back over for the moment. I'm going to take my glue and put it on there again, and my glue is absolutely pouring out. Put my daisy down again, flip it over, and this time I'm going to put my glue heavily in the middle to hold that. And then I'm going to let it dry, okay? So that way I can not have to wrap the wire. So you can either wrap the wire or you can use a stapler like that or tape. I will tell you the wire wrap is a little bit more secure. So we'll move those off frame and you can choose which one you want to do with your last one and wrap it. Then we're going to take these pieces here. You're going to glue this down to your green. I just filled up both of my bottles of glue, so I keep one on my desk with a fine point and one with a little bit bolder point, because when I'm making books, sometimes I want just a dab of glue and sometimes I want a heavy coating, so I keep both on my desk. Okay, got that. Smooth it out. Now here, we're going to take some pop-up tape and we're just going to apply it to the edges there. So I'm just going to take a little bit of tape here. And this is paper that is out of your little colored pack. On one side it's green and on the other side it's pink. These are beautiful papers. It came from a gnome collection that I loved. I was going to try to use the gnome collection, but they didn't have it and I didn't get it in time. So, best case scenario, we do it like this. Now that I've got those popped up a little bit, I can take it, pull it off, and this kind of makes a makeshift band. I'm going to put this on my piece of paper here, like so. And then I'm going to tie a pretty little bow. And you know me, I use my bow maker all the time. I'll tie a little bow here. If you want to wrap it around the card, you can. I gave you plenty of ribbon. And this is some tiny ribbon, and it's hard to hold on to. Oh, funny story. If you think my hands are dirty, they're not. I actually got in a box of $250 worth of re-inkers yesterday. And of course, the dark gray broke and went all over everything. So I had to clean up everything. It was a mess. It was all over me. Then my glue bottle exploded this morning. So I've had a couple of times of trying to get stuff off my fingers. So no, I am not a bad manicurist. It's just that I've got ink everywhere. All right, now I'm going to take this and I'm going to glue it down to the front of this. Just a little dot here. If you want to use a glue dot, that'll certainly work. There we go. Trim my ends. Sorry, my dog's barking again. And then I'm going to take my little ladybug here. And when I get my little paper clips done, I'm going to steal them from the other project because mine aren't quite ready yet. Pull the backing off your ladybugs and place them on the paper clips. So the little paper clip will hold onto your band, and you can add one. If you've got two ladybugs, stick them both on there. Isn't that precious? This will slip inside of a card. You can write a little note on the back saying, use these as little bookmarks for your books. So I just wanted to share that one with you. That's number 2. And we're going to move on to number 3 now. I hope you enjoyed that one. Okay, so now we're going to do project number 3. It's a greeting card, which I think has a lovely front to it, keeping in that same ladybug theme for the moment. And after this one, we're going to be leaving the ladybug theme and going to a turquoise and brown. So this will be our last ladybug one. So in your little kit that you get, you've got, let's pull it all out, an embossed panel. You've got a card that is cut 4 1/4 inches by 11 and then scored in the middle. You've got an envelope for your card. And then you've got all kinds of little goodies. Let's pour those out. Now, I even gave you the pop-up dots on this one so that you could put these behind your embossed panel because I wanted you to be sure and be able to pop those right up. So we're going to pop this up on top of the white card. So let's go ahead and start with that right now. What we're going to do is we're going to take our pop-up dots and we're going to put these on the back. And I'll show you how I'm placing them here. Okay, so now that I've got my dots on there, I'm going to flip it back over. Leave that backing on there, guys, because you don't want them to come off just yet. Take this little panel, place it down on top of that. So you can use either side, doesn't matter. You're going to have just a hint of a border on top and on bottom. and press that down, getting it lined up. Excellent. Now let's go ahead and flip it back over. We're going to go ahead and put our twine on now. We're just going to remove the backing off the bottom, okay? The reason why is because I'm going to take my twine and I'm going to pull a little bit to the front, but I'm going to stick the twine onto the dot. That way, as I wrap it, I can keep it nice and taut. See? And it holds it. Well, I didn't do a very good job of getting that centered, guys. Let's try that again. I want to leave enough on there to be able to tie my bow. So let me leave a little more. All right, there's the first. Then I go around, come over it again, keep turning. I'm going to lay it over it several times here. Excellent. Now, I've got 2 strands. I've got my end here and here, and I stuck it down to my table with the rest of the mounting foam because see how it holds it in place while I tie my bow? Right in the middle of that green panel, I'm going to tie a little bow. Okay? Now, if you want to grab, this is kind of neat. If you take it and you tie part of the knot there, then run it underneath your string and pull it back up, you can now tie a knot in the middle and it'll hold your strings together, make it look like they're all crisscrossed. Then tie your bow. If I can get a hold of it. There we go. And it actually holds the bow a little bit better. So try that. Now then, I'm going to go over here and I'm going to pull the rest of my backings off. And I'm going to stick it down to my card. It should be flush with the front of your card. So I'm standing it up and just lining them up this way. Like so. Okay? Now, the fun part, we get to take our stems. We're going to glue these down. Let me pull in. There we go. We're going to glue the stem on right about here. Put a little bit on your leaves. On your stem. You want the stem to lay flat too. And stick the edge of the stem underneath. Perfect. Now we're going to take our little flowers, and if you like to round them, what I use is usually my stylus tool, and I just kind of bend my petal. Can you see how it's starting to bend a little bit? Just to give it a little bit more life. I do that before I put them down, especially on the larger ones. The smaller ones, it's not so easy. And they make tools to do this with as well that are smaller, but this was handy. I'll just do a few of these bigger in the medium size. Okie doke. Now I'm going to take my glue. I'm going to put it on the center of the back here. Do a little dab. Stick it down. Another one. Do a little dab. Stick it down. Then I'm going to layer these on top of it. Kind of crisscross. These are such pretty little flowers. They're actually from Elizabeth Craft Designs, if somebody's interested in where I got them. I use them quite a bit. And then I'm going to put my little centerpiece here. And if you don't want to use it in the center, you can use it for some odd little blooms on your leaves. I'm bending it up just a hair so it'll fit in the middle there. And then lastly, we're going to add the little yellow buttons. You'll have, I'm not sure which size you've got, but I've tried to use what I had. There we go. And then, of course, you have to have a ladybug. I did not put a sentiment. I can't hold on to my ladybug. I did not put a sentiment because I left that for you to decide what you really want to use. Because you could use this for about anything. And there's our pretty little card. Isn't that lovely? Easy card with your envelope. So now you're ready to move on to project number 4. Okay, so we're ready to tackle number 4. Let me move it in a little bit. This is precious. It's a little matchbook treat. This is absolutely adorable to have I'm trying to get it in frame. It's absolutely adorable to have in a little treat bag or in a purse ditty, a shower. If you have a tea, for instance, this would be lovely to put on the table. It's so easy to make. It's called a matchbook treat. And what we're going to do here is we're going to take out our packet here and we're going to pull out the contents. Wow, a lot of contents on this one. This could be labeled as the smallest, easiest project you've ever made, guys. Easy. So if you'll notice on the back, it's scored. So you can either do this side or you can do this side. I'm going to do it to where the light polka dots are on the inside, and I'm just going to fold on my score lines. Okay. Now, how easy is that? The measurements are super easy. It's a 2x4 piece of paper, and you're going to score it at 1/2 inch, 2 1/4, and 2 1/8. It's on your cutting guide. Could not be easier. And what we're going to do is take this little turquoise strip, and on this little 1/2 inch fold here, okay, the double ones down here, on this little 1/2 inch, we're going to add our turquoise band. Okay, so I'm going to add a little bit of glue to that. Stick it across through there so it looks like where you strike a match. Good. If it's too long, trim it with your scissors. Mine might be just a hair, so I'm going to trim it just a bit. Then I'm going to take it, and I want you to run some glue in the crease. Not much, guys. It'll squirt out the ends. Run it in the crease, because what you want is to crease that. Oh, goodness, I didn't realize I was off the camera. Sorry, guys. I ran glue right here in the crease. Then I'm going to hold it right there so that it still pops up a little, because you want your matchbook to close. Once you get that done, you're going to take your little lifesaver and you're going to glue it down on the inside or tape it. I think I'll use double stick tape just because it'll hold quick. So let me get some double stick tape here. Get some scissors. Stick that down. Good. And then I'm going to put my little treat right there. And then fold this over like that. Then on the top of this, I took on your sticker sheet, I found the little heart sticker, and I put the bow on top of the little heart sticker. Okay, so this is the sticker sheet. And you can pick which of the little heart stickers. I think I used this one right here, but you could pick a different one if you wanted to use a different one. I'm going to go ahead and use that one, though, for right now and peel it off. And I'm going to stick it down to the front. Isn't that pretty, just like that? And then I'm going to glue my bow on or use a glue dot, whichever you'd rather do. It is hard to get cuter than that, guys. Really, really hard. Okay, so that's project number 4. Moving on to project number 5. You have been given enough in your packet to do 3 of these cute little things. What they do, they stand on your desk, and you can put your notes on them. It will hold even a 3x5 card. Can you tell this is project number 5? So that's how good of a grip they've got. when you put that bow on there, it really holds it together, so you can put Post-it notes or whatever. You can even put recipes on them in the kitchen. I'll get in frame again. Okay, so let's make one of these little fellas. Let me see what's in my goodie bag here. Oh, yes, like that bag. Okay, we've got 1, 2, 3 clips. Excellent. We have 3 flowers. We have 2 pieces of paper. And we have 1 rickrack and a bow. Now, let's examine this for a moment. In most of your kits, I let you cut the designer series paper, but in this one, I'm cutting most of it ahead of time for you because I think it's easier when you're on the go not to have a trimmer. So what I did was I cut these to the width that you need here, this way, but I did not cut them to the length. You can kind of cut them the way you want to. So what I'm going to do here is take a pen and mark it. And then I'm going to trim it with my scissors. And I'm going to glue this onto my little clip. And it goes just like that. Now, you'll have enough to do only one side of the clip, okay? Then I'm going to take my rickrack and I'm going to cut it to go same width right on top of that. And I'm going to glue that down. Now, I better add the glue onto the rickrack instead of the clip. Okay. And then I'll stick it down. I think I'll stick it in the middle this time. It's hard to find this tiny rickrack. I had a hard time finding it. I like it. There we go. Now I'm going to take my ribbon. You've got quite a bit of it, but you need to cut it into 3 different lengths. Okay? You're going to need to cut those into 3 equal lengths. I left that up to you, so I'm going to kind of evenly cut it there. This looks good here. This looks good here because I just tripled it. Then I'm going to tie a little bow. There we go. And pull my little bow into the center. Not going to be my best effort, but hey, guys, when you're on camera, things can go wrong. What can I say? Okay, there's my little bow. I'll just trim that little end there. And that one. Okay. Now I'm going to take my little flower, peel it down low enough that I keep my greenery. Take it and put it in the center of this. A little bit of glue or a glue dot, whichever you prefer. And there's your clip. Repeat that 3 times, guys, and you have a little collection of recipe cards, note cards, just clips to sit on the desk, and just let that dry. How about that? Less than 5 minutes, you got another project done. We're just zipping along now for number 6. I hope you enjoyed that one. Number 6. Number 6 is this cute little bookmark that has a little fingernail file hidden down in it. You can either use this in your book that you're currently reading, your magazine. Use it anywhere you want to mark a spot, but have a handy-dandy nail file close to it. It's also a great little gift to include in a card. I put this inside of a slimline card. It was very, very pretty that way. So we're going to use this beautiful paper. This came from a collection that I ordered. Part of this Simple Stories collection. And it has, let me pull out so you can see. Not quite that much. Okay. It's got tags with writing on one side and they're blank on the other. It was a big sheet of them. And I've cut them into quarter panels because what you need are small pieces. So, in your kit, you're going to find these goodies. Okay. you're going to find that you've got 2 pieces of this type of paper, okay? And you're going to use your scissors to trim this down. You'll have to punch a hole. You can either use your scissors or use a hole punch. I didn't include one. But we're going to take this particular one and make it our base card. And then I'm going to take one of these and I'm going to fold it. And I'm going to show you how I'm going to do that. I'm going to take my scissors and I'm going to trim one out. I think I like this one here. So let's do that. I'm just going to trim it. And instead of cutting across here like you normally would, I'm going to cut right here at that point. All of these have a little bit of an edge below that you can kind of cut by. So I'm going to cut it just like that. Now that I've done that, I'm going to score it. And you can use your own scoring tools to do this. I just simply used my measurements using the ruler that we had included. And I'm going to, this is what I'm calling the 3-inch side. And this is the 5 1/4 inch side. And on the 3-inch side, I'm going to score this at 3 3/4. I mean, at 3/4, which, let me get my pencil. Hang on here. Okay, I pick up a pencil. It has no mark. All right, so we're going to score that at 3/4 of an inch. And then we're going to score it at 2 1/4 inches. Now, if you don't want to score and measure that, what you can do is fold it. So I'm just going to take it and fold where that mark is. Okay? So there's my little mark along that edge. And then I'll press that down. Then I'm going to take this one and I'm going to fold where my little mark is. And press that one down. That wasn't too bad, was it? No. Now, let's open it back up. And on this side, we're going to fold at, or on this side here, we're going to mark it at 4 1/4 inches. And I want to do it, this is the top of it here. So I want to turn it this way so that I can do 4 1/4, because this is the part I want to mark right down here. Okay, and then I want to fold that up on that mark. Okay, so you've got one here, and then one across here. Okay? Now, what that means is you fold it like this, and you fold it like this, and you fold it like this, and that holds your fingernail file. Gives you a little bit of an opening. If you don't want that opening, you can do it a little bit more of a fold. I'm going to flip it over now and show you what it would look like if I did it the other way. So I could do it either way. This one looks like I folded it just a little bit too close. So I'm going to refold it just a hair. There we go. And I like it showing the print of that butterfly. So I'm going to flip it back over like this and press it down. Press this one down and press this up. And I'm going to leave it this way. Okay. Okay. So now that we've got this the way we want it, I'm going to take my scissors and I'm going to cut at an angle from this corner here down. And then I'm going to cut from this corner here down. So I kind of make a little lip. You want to cut them kind of evenly, so you're going to have to play with it a little bit. See if I can get it a little bit better. Ooh, that's pretty good right there, guys. That looks really good. Let me just trim this one a little closer and make it a little bit more rounded. Okay, how's that look to you guys? I like it. It will hold my fingernail file like that. And you can see I've got a rough edge there, so I'm going to trim that down just a smidgen. I don't like rough edges. Okay. Excellent, excellent. Okay, so that's how we make our little holder for our fingernail file. Okay, and we're going to take this now, and we're going to take the twine. You're going to take the twine, and I want you to take a little bit of it. There's no telling what color button you got, but take a little bit of it and tie a bow on your twine, okay? Tie a bow on your twine. And I'm telling you, this is the easiest way to do it. If you wait until you... No. Now that you've got this, you're going to take your twine. Excellent. You got a lot of twine, guys. This is a real pretty color, turquoise. So I want you to take your twine, and I want you to keep some of it out. And I want you to wrap it. Before we do that, I want to hold this together. So we're going to take our stickers, and we're going to find a sticker that we like. Which one do I... Oh, I definitely want to get this pretty butterfly one. I'm going to take it, and I'm going to place it right there. This will hold my little piece together until I get this twine on there. Let me drop it down just a bit. Okay, that's where I want it. Now I'm going to take my twine, and I'm going to leave a little bit of an end, and I'm going to wrap it around. Lots. You got... Oh my goodness, guys. Oh, I know why. Okay, now that we've got this folded, take your sticker sheet. Select the sticker you want. I use this one, and I'm just going to stick it right here. Okay. A little butterfly. Now, I want you to take your twine and cut off, maybe about 10 inches, maybe 12 inches. And I want you to hold it, wrap it around a few times, and then tie a knot. I would do probably about 20 inches maybe. You want to wrap it a couple of times. And then what I want you to do is tie a knot and stick the ends through your button. Now, this is where it gets old school. You gotta thread your button. And I am not real good at threading buttons on camera. I have a 0% chance of getting it. I'm only going to do 2 holes. This is a 4-hole button, but I'm trying to wet the end of it so I can stick it through. Okay, I'm going to do kind of a cross hatch. So both ends are through. Hallelujah. Except they're on the wrong side of the paper. Okay, here we go. Alrighty, we got it. And then I'm going to tie a little bow, which will secure this together. There we go. I got it. Okay, so there's my little bow. I can scoot this down a little bit. I can put this inside of it now. Voila. Yes, I can do that. Awesome. Now, I'm going to take my tag. Okay, I'm going to punch my hole in it like I said we would have to do. You can either use a hole punch. 1/4 inch is actually what fits it, but you can use an 1/8 inch hole too. All of you that subscribe probably got a hole punch in one of the recent kits. Now you're going to make some tassels. To make a tassel like this one, okay, to make this tassel, it's not hard, but what you have to do is you have to take your twine and you have to go back and forth a whole bunch of times. Now, I have a little piece to the side here. Okay, I kept off about 8 inches. I'm going to wrap it like that several times. Good. Then I'm going to stick it, half of it, through. Well, I didn't do a very good job of getting them even. They got to be even. So let me do that again. I do about a 4-finger width. So I want that one down there. Good. That comes out about right. Now they're even. And I'm going to stick that through my hole, all of it. This project's taking a little longer, not much. Okay, good. I'm not worried about looping it, because what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave it like this. Now that's a lot of string there. I'm going to take my little piece here and I'm going to loop it around. It would be easier if you have a clip. Let me pull one out. I'm going to take my clip here and I'm going to hold my ends. Good. Now I'm going to take this and wrap it around several times. Okay. Now I have an end somewhere. There's my end. I'm going to take my end, go to the back of this because I'm going to use the back side, and I'm going to tie a tiny little knot. Can you see that? I just tied a little knot. That's all I'm doing. See, I'm just tying a little knot right there. Then I take my scissors and I clip here and here so that those ends don't show and you don't see the knot. Then I'm going to remove my little clip and I'm going to take my scissors and I'm going to cut all of those little pieces so that there are no loops. And then I'll trim it evenly. And I've got a tassel. Isn't that great? See, it'll hold. Then, after I get my tassel on there, I'll take this and I'll tape it or glue it down to the front of this so that I have a finished product. And I think I'm going to go ahead and glue it because that's going to secure it really well. And hold it for a moment so that it holds. And that is the end of number 6. So for number 7, keeping in the bookmark tradition and using some of those beautiful papers that you have, I took a hole punch or 2 or 3 of flowers and I punched out a bunch of shapes. Don't you love these giant paper clips? They came in assorted colors from Walmart. I loved them. Loved them. Had to use them, guys. I mean, good heavens. Do they not just call out to you? I mean, they're just gorgeous. They're the size of my hand almost. They're 4 inches. So what we're going to do is we're just going to make a very simple but elegant looking little bookmark. And it'll clip to anything. I've even used it to hold my cord for my phone, guys. So what you're going to do, you've got an assortment of pretty flower blossoms, and there are different colors on different sides. So you can make whatever shape you want. I tried to give you a few of them. The first thing you're going to do is you're going to take your twine. Again, I know you hate me. I know you do. I hear you complaining. No, not another button. Yes, another button. You're going to thread your twine through the button. Yes, you're going to thread it through and tie a pretty bow. That's all I want you to do. Can you do that? Thread it through, tie a pretty bow. I'm trying to do it quickly, but you know how it is on camera. You just cannot get things to work well on camera. Do-do-do. Here we go. I'll leave that one out. I want the bow on top. One more. One more. That's all I got to do. One more. I tried to give you big eyes so that at least you could get them through quickly and easily. Voila. Voila. Okay. Now, to tie that bow on there, I'll give you a hint. This works the best. If you take a piece of mounting foam and you cut a piece of the mounting foam and stick it to your table, then you can stick the button to the mounting foam while you tie your bow. Da-da! Isn't that easier? Yes, that's much easier, Sherry. Oh, thank you. I think it's a lovely idea. I do this quite often. I use mounting foam to be my little safeguard. Do you see how I did it? Voila. And then I trim off my edges and my little bow is done. Then I can pull that up and take my little bow off when I'm ready. So I'll leave that on there for a moment. Now, I'm going to take my little vast assortment of flower blossoms. And, oh, these are pretty colors together, aren't they? Ooh, I like it. I like this a lot. Let's see. That's good with it, too. Huh. Okay, and then this one on top of that. Oh, yes, that looks good. I don't know. I think I like it just kind of like that. What do y'all think? It's hard to decide, I know. You can do 3, 4, 5 blossoms, whatever you want to do. Again, I'm going to take a rounded pin and go around the edges so that they have some life to them. And I think I will use the yellow because it's a yellow paper clip. And pop that one up. I'm going to push it towards the center to kind of give it some lift. Yeah, just like that. And then did I decide on the green or the pink? Let's do the green. I may not use it. Okay, that's got some life to it. Okay, I'm going to take my glue, pop it down in the center of this one. Okay, put this on here. It's the same size, so it'll show like kind of like leaves. Then pop this one on. Again, the same size. Nice, nice. Okay, and then do I want to add this other one? I don't think so. I think I'm just going to do this one and pop it in the center. That looks pretty good to me, guys. Now I'm going to take that and I'm going to turn it over and I'm going to take, I always keep these two pieces away from the flower or where I'm going to glue. And I'm going to take my glue and I'm going to heavily put the glue on it. You're going to think I'm crazy, okay? But the reason I'm doing that, when it dries perfectly clear. Can you see there? So it doesn't make any difference. It holds very well. Then when it dries, I'll go back and I'll put my little button in the center of it, just like I did there. And that's all there is to number 6. Or no, 7, sorry. Hope you enjoyed that one. Let it dry and let's move on. Okay, so now we're going to do a pretty little project. This is actually my favorite one in the whole pack of projects because these are little refrigerator magnets. They have a strip of a magnet behind them. And it just is a nice little thoughtful gift to give someone. So we're going to make that today. And I've got in my little video pack here. Open it up and see what we have. Lots of little pieces here. So we're going to pull all of these little pieces out. These are some tiny pieces in this Ziploc bag, so don't dump them out without keeping those in a small container. This is actually going to be the foundation for our piece here. So I'm going to take it out first, and I'm going to go ahead and score it. I'm going to take my glue, and if you have something with a lot of detail like this, it's really hard to take your glue and squirt it on the back. So let me show you a shortcut. That envelope that these pieces came in is a perfect little example of what you can do. We can take our glue, scribble it on that acetate. Then we can take the background here, dab it into it, then kind of dab it onto the paper so it's not real thick. It gives it a nice coating. And then we can put that onto our piece here. Now, the only thing is they have to be cut to size. So you don't want to use your real good scissors to trim that until it dries. So I'm going to take an older pair of scissors and just clip that right there. And that's all I have to do for it. Now I'm going to take this piece here. This is actually the little band that we rest our little magnets on. You can see it bows up a little bit so that you can use it so they don't have to lay flat. And it's going to go like this and bend up. So we can take and add our glue or tape. And in this case, I think I'll go ahead and use a little bit of score tape just to hold it quick and easy. Okay, I put the score tape down to the acetate. We'll have to get another piece. I'm just going to trim that. I got too big a piece. Alrighty. Yeah, if you don't know, score tape holds really well, so don't let it touch anything else. It's unforgiving, but it's the best. Okay. Okay, so I'm going to take this and I'm going to keep it really low on my paper, kind of center it a little bit, and do it like that. Perfect. Now it puffs up just a little bit so I can get these clips in underneath it. Okay, that's what I'm looking for. Now this part is finished, so we can move on to our little clips. You know, trivia for you today. I went to the produce stand and they had cowtails in all flavors. And the little girl said, "Wait, you have to try this one." I said, "What is it?" She said, "Honey bun cowtails." Yes, they now have honey bun cowtails for those cowtail lovers out there. This has been a commercial break. No, just kidding. I just thought that was a hoot. Okay, so back to work here. You never know what I'll pop out. Okay, we're going to take this long strip. It's cut to 1/4 of an inch. You can use either side, the light side or the darker. And all you're going to do is cut it to the length of your clothespin. So I'm going to cut it to right there. I'm going to glue it down. I'm going to do all 3 of them, guys, because we've got to decorate them individually a little differently. So I'll stick that on there. Now I'm going to do the next one. Same way. I'm going to take it, and I'm going to measure and then cut it. Yeah, cowtails are part of my group's favorite candy. And I know they make a brownie one, a chocolate one. The caramel one, of course, is my favorite. But honey bun, y'all try it and let me know how it is. I bet it tastes just like the other one. Alrighty, got that one. One more. Here we go. I'm going to do it the easy way. Glue it down as I go. Okay. All 3 of them are now done. So I've got 1, 2, and 3. Now the next thing I'm going to do is add my magnet. This is a part of an adhesive sheet, and I trimmed it to 1/4 of an inch. Yes, it's a little fat, but it has to be to hold the clothespin. So I'm going to take it and I'm going to cut it with scissors length, and it has adhesive on the back, guys, so you don't have to worry. You can actually peel off that backing and stick that down to your clothespin. And then it's going to stick to the refrigerator. Now that'll hold up a little bit better than what we had. So let me get the other one here. Measure it. Yep. This is the last one of this video. I'm going to go ahead and measure the next one too while I'm at it. The part 2 video is got a little bit tougher project. So there's one less in that one. So we'll do it next after we complete this one. This is the last one of this particular video. All right, put this on the back. Good, good. And we had an earthquake this morning. I think everybody felt it but me. I didn't feel it because I was in the car. It was actually in Tennessee, but you could feel it here, they said. All the way in North Carolina. About the only natural disaster we haven't had yet in the last 12 months. Okay, there we go. We got our 3 clothespins done. Now we can start creating on them. So I'm going to take the rest of this piece here and I'm going to make my little bow. Now, here's what you got to do. You've got to, I'm going to move these out of the way. I'm going to measure it across just a little bit here. Sorry. And then I'm going to take some fussy cut scissors and I'm going to cut halfway and make a little point so it looks like the end of a ribbon. Alrighty, and then I'm going to put that right there. So I'm going to go ahead and glue that down like that. You with me? Okay. Now the next part is I'm going to take this and we're going to lay part of it over. Let me go ahead and get this cut a little bit. I've cut it about 2 inches long and I'm just going to very carefully round it. That'll help me work with it. And then I'm going to bend it over right here and right here. So they meet in the middle, and that makes my little bow, okay? Now, what I do is I flip it over. So I take my glue, add it to here. Now look what I did. I put it the lighter, so I've got to do it the other direction. Okay, here we go. So I'm going to take it. I'm going to get both of my ends together and make sure I've got my little bow shape. And then just put that down on my glue. Put a little bit of glue in the middle. And then push that down and hold it. Can you see what I've got there? Okay, so Michael's is telling me there's a sale. I'm announcing it for everybody now that they've sent it to me twice. Okay, isn't that cute? Makes a nice little bow. And then we'll take the pearl that's in our little pack here, stick it down to the middle of it, and that's how you make the little bow on there. It's a paper bow. You can use this on Christmas things too. I kind of like that light color. That's kind of neat. Now this gem, you're going to have to glue it down because I can tell you right now, it does not hold if it has adhesive on it. And it is hard to get a hold of. All right, here we go. I got it this time, guys. All right, I'm going to use my tweezers because I do not trust my fingers with all this glue on them. Good, 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 good. We're getting it there. Yes, we are. Looky, looky. We got it, guys. We got it. So clip number 1 is done. We'll let that dry. Now clip number 2. Let's do this one next. Punched out a little butterfly out of a Bible verse. I'm going to take it a little higher and just a light dot to hold that in place. Then I'm going to turn over these little petals here. Punched out some tiny little flowers for you guys. I'm going to layer these on top of my butterfly. There we go. Now let's stagger them just a little bit. Now I'm going to take my tweezers again and I'm going to twist it so that you can see the different petals. There we go. Now we're cooking. Then I'm going to take a little yellow one and put in the center of that. Perfecto. And then I believe that one is done. Excellent. And our last one, we're going to take that pretty twine you got, and we're going to tie a little bow with it. You got a lot of extra twine here, so you can get a hold of it. I'm going to make a very small little bow. Good. And I'm pulling down on my tails so they hang down, okay? Good, 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 good. Now I'm going to, I think I'll go ahead and glue it to the paper clip, but I'm going to stick my paper clip in here so I don't have to move it again in a few minutes, okay? So what that means is I can get my little danglies on and leave it alone. So I'm going to put my ribbon up here, my little bow. I'm going to trim my ends to the length I want. I want one that length. Okay, so trim it before you put it on there. There we go. And then I'm going to do my little flowers just ever so lightly. I'm going to stick those down to my ends. And again, I'm going to use the tweezers. Hopefully I'm in frame a little. And then I'm going to put a little more glue. Put another flower. Stagger it, if I can get a hold of it. There we go. There's one. Now I'm going to try to do the same thing with the other one. Wish me luck. I know if I do it on that paper right there, it's going to stick. So I'm going to hold it up for a minute. And glue it to the end of my twine. Good. Then I'm going to put a little bit of glue on that. This is so delicate, you don't have to use much glue. Stick that down. Again, I'm going to have to finagle it just a smidgen so it looks like a flower blossom. Not a mess. Good. And then you've got two tiny little pearls. And we're going to take these little pearls and put them in the middle of those flowers. That is easier said than done. All right, here we go. The first one's going on. I ought to do a contest of some kind and see if anybody listened to me ramble about the honey bun cowtail. Okay, one more charm somewhere. There it is. And we'll get it on and we'll be done with this video. Moving on to the part 2 so that we can start with number 9, I believe is the number. As soon as I get that in place. Alrighty, we got it. So now you've got your little flowers and your little holder. That one took a little longer. I may edit some of that time out, but it's really, really cute and easy. Your refrigerator magnets. So now you need to go to part 2, guys.